And someone or something, I should say, something that is so omnipotent, omniscient, I can't say the last word, sorry, is so everywhere all the time and knows everything all the time, is not going to be, and is that enlightened, and knows every single thing there is to know, would not be so petty as to be jealous or to care for a human being to be who they are. I mean, people are going to be who and what they are because that's how they were born to be. So God's not going to give a shit about any of that. And he would never send people to a place or a hell like you're talking about, in my opinion. This is my opinion, just like your opinion. All the things you're telling me are your opinion. I don't know any more than you do about what actually happens when we die, except for what I feel. So that's why I don't believe there's a hell, because I can't imagine God ever actually doing that to anybody. Because everybody, if you're Christian especially, and you believe in redemption, that's what redemption is all about, is making mistakes and being redeemed from them and being, oh, okay, I made a mistake, but God's going to make it okay, and I need to get another chance, get another chance. That's the great thing about being a Christian. That's what I hate about you Christians. It's like, oh, I'm a Christian, so God forgives me for everything I do, so I'm going to do anything I want, I'm forgiven for it. Well, that's a real convenient, religion, if you ask me. I would love to have that kind of religion. Do whatever the fuck I want, but God's going to actually forgive me for whatever I want. So what the fuck's the point? Just do what the fuck you want. So it doesn't matter if you do believe in all that bullshit, Cold Butter, or whomever I'm talking to. If you do believe in all that bullshit, then that's your right. You can believe what you want, but don't put your beliefs on me. I don't go around, that's what I always say to Christians, I don't go around to churches and say, oh my God, you Christians are such morons and idiots, and I don't throw bombs in your churches and tell you you're wrong and try to curtail your civil rights or your civil liberties, do I? No, because you disagree with me. No, but Christians do that every fucking day, and they do it in my life, they do it in my walking life, they do it on BTR, they do it online, they do it in person, whatever. But you never see me doing that to Christians, do you? Or gay people? No. We don't go out and pick at your churches and say, bad things like that to you or about you. However, you feel you're entitled to say those things about us. So therein lies the difference between us. I am a good human being and you are not. So if you feel just because you're a Christian that makes you a good person, you're fucking wrong. You are a sad, sad example of what Christianity is supposed to be about, which is be like Christ, whom, by the way, would have been hanging out with the gays, having a kiki, not just, and listening to some music with us or whatever, and having dancing and stuff like that. He hung out with the prostitutes, he hung out with everybody that was different, the misfits, people who were shunned by everybody else, people with leprosy, whatever. So if God were here now, Jesus Christ, whatever, your God that you believe in, he wouldn't be hanging out with people like the wealthy and the Christians like you who judge everybody else. He would be hanging with people like me. FYI.
Wow, very, very well put. And I do think that a lot of Christians, I have to agree with you on, some Christians are the absolute worst people that you can come in contact with. They're so hyped up
Absolutely.
on their beliefs and hyped on what their religion teaches them that they have completely lost sight of reality. So
yeah.
I am in firm agreement with you on that.
Well, yeah. I mean, and that's the difference. They're saying, like Cold Butter's saying, I didn't say I was better than you. Okay, you're saying I'm going to hell, I'm disgusting, I'm wrong, I'm evil, I'm all these things, but you're not better than me, right? Okay, so you're equally disgusting, wrong, evil, and all these things if you don't think you're better than me. You're just telling me all these things about how horrible I am, yet you say you don't think you're better than me. And that doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's why I don't like to talk to people like you, because having a conversation with you is so frivolous and ridiculous, because having this conversation means nothing to you, and it certainly means nothing to me. There's nothing you can say to me that will make me believe in your cult. By the way, on my show I did about religion, or about Christianity, I said that I thought Christianity was a cult. Now, what is a cult? So I was going to read you real quick the definition of cult, because I did this on my show real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. And I want you to tell me if Christianity sounds anything like this to you, because it sounds like it to me. Where is it? Here it is. Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines cult as, whatever comes up, a formal religious veneration, yes, check. A system of religious beliefs and ritual, check. A religion that has a body of adherence, check, a system for the cure of disease based on dogma set forth by its promulgator, like health cults, great devotion to a person, idea, object, movement, or work, especially such devotion regarded as literary or intellectual fad, and a small group of people characterized by such devotion. Okay, all of those things apply to Christianity, and they do. Now, why do people not consider Christianity a cult? Because it's mass appeal. It's huge. It's a huge religion. It's the biggest religion in the world now, and has been for a while. So people think, oh, well, Christianity could be a cult because it's so big. It didn't matter. Christianity started out as this nothing religion that rose, and the reason that it became so popular and was because people bought into it. It was people were preached to, or it was spread to people who were poor, people who had no way out, people who were oppressed by society, by the government, or whatever. And so people like that are often far more what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Not subjective, but more. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. They're more easily swayed by those kinds of things because they have less power, and so they want something that feels like that gives them power. And so those people who were poor and they were shepherds and people who didn't have any money and really really down and trodden people generally started this religion and became part of it. Now, did you also know that there's the entire Christian story about Christ and about a virgin birth and about he was around for 30 years and then disappeared. Or he was like 18 years old or whatever and disappeared until he was 30. He came back at 30 and then he was crucified and everything else. And then he rose again 3 days later, whatever it was, all that stuff. And then it was a miracle and he walked on water, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so all stuff, right? This exact story was told and existed in two different civilizations before Christ. Now, we know Christ went around in the world. He traveled the world. He went around to China even, and picked up a lot of the Buddhist beliefs and things like he brought back with him when he started to form his religion. And we also know that this exact story, like I just told you, existed in Egypt, and the story was told then about Osiris or Ra. I can't remember which one it was. One of the gods. It was sun god. I can't remember which one his name was. But anyway, 2,000 years before Christ, okay? And so the story was not original. Now, that means that, in my opinion, and this is fact, this is something you can look up all on your own. It's not something that I'm making up here. That means that the Christian faith is based on a previous faith, a faith that was made up as well. So people who follow this religion like it is the Word of God is ridiculous. It's fine to look at the Bible and say, look, the Bible has great lessons to learn. We have things to learn from the Bible, ways to live our life or whatever in terms of like everyday life. Like don't murder each other or don't steal or whatever. Right. Okay, cool. Fine. And that's fine if you want to follow those teachings. That's fine. To actually say that the Bible is literally true, anybody who says that to me doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, because it's easily proven that the Bible, the story of the Bible, of Christ anyway, was ripped off from a previous religion. So look it up if you don't believe me. So I don't really have a lot of stock or put a lot of stock into people who believe in it. I mean, I respect people who you're right to believe it, okay? But don't come to me and tell me that, oh, this is the way it is, this is what God said, when you as well know as I do that that's not true. And if you don't know that, then you haven't done your research. I need a drink. Oh, my God. Sorry. I get on tangents. I'm sorry. That's why I don't want to just talk, because I get on tangents. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely fine.
No, that's okay.
A great job. I enjoy this 100%.
I just go look. It is not like it's more man-made. More made-up gay shit. Okay, guest 11. Okay, guest 11. Whatever you say. Most gay people are gay because they're molested. I was never molested. And most gay people I know were never molested. Oh. And by the way, most molesters are heterosexual, not gay. FYI. So,
yep.
Just want you to.
What is this you put? Now, iconoclastic was something that I did want to ask you about. Have you ever openly professed to be an atheist? Someone writes here in the chat room, you put too much trust in atheist websites. So, I mean, if that was a true fact.
I'm not an atheist. No. Who said that? Oh, Cold Butter.
Was it Cold Butter?
Yeah. No, by the way, Cold Butter, the Osiris myth is not different. It has a virgin. Let me say this first. It has a virgin mother. It has the three kings there. It has the same dates. By the way, something else I have to say. The Christian faith, December 25th day of his birth is on the winter solstice, okay? And it was done that way, or 21st I think was the solstice, but it was around that date because it was coinciding with pagan holidays that already existed. It was easier to convert the pagans to Christianity by keeping the religious dates and festivals in the same time period. So they chose the dates because that's when it was easier for them to do it that way. Jesus Christ himself, according to the way the stars were listed in the Bible, was not born on December 25th. He was born around July or something like that. So, anyway,
well,
it just go ahead.
Well, actually, I heard that Jesus Christ was born on basically on Easter, or probably close onto Easter,
Yeah, well, exactly. He was born sometime in the spring or the summer. He wasn't born, and my point was he wasn't born on the 5th of December. We know that for sure. So, but people celebrate the birthday of Jesus Christ like it was, like it was really his birthday. But anyway, I was going to answer your question, Cold Butter. I'm not an atheist. If you've been listening to anything I've said this whole fucking time, I obviously believe that there is more than us. An atheist is someone who doesn't believe in Christianity, which a lot of Christians think that. They think if you're not a Christian, then you're an atheist. That's fucking bullshit. If you're an atheist if you believe in absolutely nothing, meaning that when we die, there's nothing there, we cease to exist as a human being. And I don't believe that I'm spiritual. I believe we do continue on in our spirit, but I don't believe in actually, I'm not an atheist, is my point, so no. Did I say atheist? You did say atheist, didn't you? Let me go back and see. Cold Butter. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And also, on the other night, I talked about, in the Bible, they did not really where heaven was. So I opened my mind even further, right?
Right.
So basically, I said, what if heaven is actually a different dimension?
Right. That's
that's what it is, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with hell. Heaven and hell is two different dimensions. But yeah,
right.
A lot
it's possible.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was listening to saying it's possible.
Yeah, and basically a lot of people said, no, there's no proof. I said, well, heck, you believe what the scientist says. Oh, because they give proof. I said, right, but how do you know that they're lying?
Right.
Have you doing your own research? Do you have enough money to actually do what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, you're putting their faith into science.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Thank you for reiterating that. That's exactly right. People put their faith in science all the time, and they agree and accept something as being real. But anytime you put science in the face of religion, then all of a sudden science doesn't apply. And so you're absolutely right. I agree with you, and I think that they need to. It's hypocritical of them to be that way, basically. Oh, I'm too extreme? Really? Are you kidding me? They're saying I'm too extreme. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay, Cold Butter says, because I've read them and what you were talking about on several atheist websites, I've read them and non-atheists, and I didn't call you one. Because they're on atheist websites doesn't make me an atheist, nor does it mean that I've been to them. I don't go to atheist websites because I'm not an atheist.